Have you ever wondered how an ancient civilization, as advanced as the Mayans, suddenly disappeared? This question has baffled historians and archaeologists for centuries, and the Mayan civilization remains one of the greatest enigmas of history. The Mayans were not just an ordinary civilization. They were pioneers, visionaries, and their achievements were nothing short of extraordinary. They charted the heavens, developed a complex written language, constructed grand architectural marvels, and excelled in the field of mathematics. Yet, with all their advancements, they couldn't prevent their own downfall. One day, they were here, and the next, they vanished, as if swallowed by the very jungles they once tamed. It's a mystery that echoes through the ages, a tale of glory and despair. But what led to their sudden disappearance? What secrets lie buried beneath the ruins of their grand cities? Let's delve into the fascinating history of the Mayan civilization and try to unravel some of these mysteries. The origins of the Mayans can be traced back to as early as 2600 BC. A time when the world was just beginning to stir from its prehistoric slumber. The Mayans embarked on their journey in a region known as Mesoamerica, a land of rich biodiversity marked by its towering mountains, dense forests, and expansive coastlines. These early periods saw the Mayans as a nomadic tribe moving from one place to another in their quest for survival. Over time, they adopted an agrarian lifestyle as they began to master the cultivation of corn, beans, squash, and chili peppers. This shift allowed them to settle down, giving birth to the first Mayan cities. These Mayan cities were not just mere settlements, but centers of power and culture, eventually blossoming into a civilization that covered vast territories. From the highlands of Guatemala to the lowlands of the Yucatan Peninsula, the Mayans spread their influence across present-day Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. The Mayans were not a monolithic entity, but a collection of diverse groups, each with its distinct language and culture. Yet they were bound together by shared religious beliefs, a complex social hierarchy, and an intricate system of trade. These early Mayan cities became the beating heart of a civilization that would continue to evolve and grow over the centuries. They were the hubs of political power, religious worship, and intellectual pursuits. They were the cradles of Mayan advancements in astronomy, mathematics, and architecture, many of which continue to astound us even today. These early beginnings set the stage for the rise of one of the most fascinating civilizations in human history. A civilization that would leave behind a legacy of monumental architecture, a complex writing system, and a calendar that continues to intrigue scholars and enthusiasts alike. This marked the start of what we now know as the Mayan civilization, a society destined to make unprecedented strides in various fields. From humble beginnings, the Mayans rose to establish a civilization that was ahead of its time. The Classic period, spanning from 250 to 900 AD, marked a golden age for the Mayan civilization. It was during this era that the Mayans truly began to flourish, branching out into various fields and leaving their indelible mark on history. Their advancements in mathematics were nothing short of extraordinary. The Mayans developed a complex numerical system, complete with the concept of zero, centuries before it was introduced to the Western world. This system was not just a scholarly pursuit, but a practical tool that aided them in their astronomical studies and calendar creation. In the realm of astronomy, the Mayans were unparalleled. They meticulously charted the movements of celestial bodies, predicting solar and lunar eclipses with remarkable accuracy. Their observations of Venus were so precise that they could predict its appearance and disappearance with an error margin of just a few hours. The Mayans were also pioneers in the written word, developing a unique hieroglyphic script. This was not a simple alphabet, but a complex system of symbols and signs that could convey a wealth of information. They recorded their history, rituals, and astronomical observations on stelae, pottery, and codices, leaving a rich legacy for future generations to decipher. In terms of architecture, the Mayans were true visionaries. They built towering pyramids, grand palaces, and intricate ball courts, often aligning them with astronomical phenomena. The city of Tikal, with its soaring temples and vast plazas, stands as a testament to their architectural prowess. Their advancements were not confined to the intellectual and artistic realms. The Mayans also demonstrated a deep understanding of agricultural techniques, developing systems of irrigation and terracing that allowed them to sustain large populations in their city-states. Their accomplishments during this period were monumental, but like all great civilizations, the Mayans too had their share of struggles. The seeds of their downfall were sown within the very fabric of their success, setting the stage for the dramatic collapse that was to follow. The fall of the Mayans is as intriguing as their rise. As we delve into the twilight of this ancient civilization, it's important to note that there isn't one agreed-upon reason for their downfall. Rather, a cocktail of contributing factors led to their decline and eventual collapse. Overpopulation is one such theory. The Mayans were victims of their own success. With their advanced agricultural techniques, they were able to support a rapidly growing population. But as their numbers swelled, so too did the strain on their resources. The land, once lush and fertile, began to buckle under the weight of intensive farming. This leads us to our next factor, environmental degradation. The Mayans were masterful builders, creating towering pyramids and sprawling cities, but this came at a cost. Deforestation for construction and farming led to soil erosion and a drop in biodiversity. This spiraling environmental crisis would have made it increasingly difficult for the Mayans to feed their booming population. Then there was warfare. The Mayan civilization was not a unified empire, but a network of city-states often at odds with each other. As resources dwindled, these cities would have turned on each other in a desperate scramble for what was left. The resulting conflict and societal unrest would have further destabilized their civilization. Finally, we come to drought. Recent studies suggest that a series of prolonged droughts may have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Water was life for the Mayans, and without it their civilization couldn't survive. As these factors converged, the Mayans began to abandon their cities, marking the end of the Classic period and the beginning of the post-Classic period. This wasn't an overnight collapse, but a gradual decline that played out over centuries. The once thriving Mayan civilization gradually faded into obscurity, but their legacy lived on. Despite their fall, the Mayans left an indelible mark on history, one that continues to captivate us to this day. The echoes of their grandeur can still be heard if you listen closely. The Mayans may have disappeared, but their legacy is far from forgotten. This ancient civilization, once vibrant and teeming with life, has left indelible marks on our world. The remnants of their existence are not just confined to the ruins of their cities or the artifacts in museums, but are alive and thriving in the descendants who still carry their bloodline, in the languages that echo their words, and in the knowledge they bestowed upon us. Let's begin with their descendants. The Maya people didn't entirely vanish into the annals of history. Their lineage continues in the millions of people living in Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador, and Honduras who identify as Maya. They continue to practice traditional Mayan customs, rituals, and languages, keeping their ancestors' legacy alive and vibrant. Speaking of languages, the Mayans developed a sophisticated script, one of the few fully developed writing systems in the pre-Columbian Americas. Today, around 30 Mayan languages are still spoken, a testament to their linguistic prowess and cultural resilience. Moving on to their architectural marvels, the Mayans were master builders. Their grandiose cities with towering pyramids, observatories, and palaces are scattered across Central America. Sites like Chichen Itza, Tikal, and Palenque, among others, stand as silent witnesses to their architectural ingenuity and aesthetic sense. But perhaps one of the most profound legacies of the Mayans lies in their contributions to astronomy and mathematics. They were avid skygazers, charting the movements of celestial bodies with astonishing precision. Their mathematical system, which included the concept of zero, was advanced for its time and played a crucial role in their astronomical observations. Their calendars, especially the long count calendar that predicted cycles of creation and destruction, have intrigued scholars and enthusiasts for years. They even predicted a doomsday that caught the world's attention in the year 2012. So, while the Mayan civilization may have faded, their impact on the world is undeniably profound. Their descendants, their language, their architecture, and their scientific contributions, all these are threads in the intricate tapestry of human history, reminding us of a civilization that once thrived and continues to inspire us. From their origins to their fall, The history of the Mayans is a captivating tale of human ingenuity and resilience. They were an innovative society that left a remarkable legacy, one that we continue to unravel and learn from even today. Their advanced understanding of astronomy, their intricate social structures, and their monumental architecture are all testaments to their greatness. The Mayans were not just one large empire, but a collection of city-states and clans, each with their unique characteristics and contributions to the civilization. Despite the challenges and changes they faced, the Mayans managed to leave an indelible mark in history. And while their civilization may have fallen, their descendants and their influence live on. They continue to inspire us with their rich culture and their enduring spirit. The Mayans have left us with more questions than answers, but their story remains a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity.